And how did Superman perform compared to other movies? And what about the ghost of the second weekend? Afterlife, we get to know. Super Olympia. Hello, Pop Consumer Society, we're back. Let's talk about Superman once again, about the box office. The movie made in updated values. It seems there was a little trick there. There was some Sunday money that hadn't come in yet. It increased by $3 million. It went up to 125. So Superman made $125 million in its first weekend. Let's remember one thing. It's a 4-day weekend because Superman didn't premiere on Friday. It premiered on Wednesday. This movie opened before the official date. Wednesday already had previews. Tickets were already being sold for Wednesday. So actually these $125 million are from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I said 4, but it's actually 5 days. 5 days, $125 million. The result seems bigger than expected. Is that a good outcome? All the estimates were around 190, 110. Some optimistic estimates reached 150, 170, which I found unrealistic, while pessimistic ones asked for 60, 65, which I also thought was too little. Plus $125 million on the first weekend, the long weekend. Compared to other movies, it's the biggest release of a film where Superman is the only protagonist, so if you take out Superman and Batman, and keeping only the Superman movies, it was the best opening for a Superman movie to date. A little higher than Man of Steel by Zack Snyder. Without adjusting for inflation, yes. And if you consider that in 2013, we had a different scenario. We didn't have streaming competition. We didn't have so many movie options. We didn't have the so-called superhero genre fatigue. We didn't have a movie that comes from a monumental failure. We have a closer comparison. I don't think you can say Superman was better than Man of Steel. No, I think Man of Steel was better. Especially considering everything, considering the scenario, considering the moment. The big problem is that Man of Steel... It's true that Green Lantern came before, but Green Lantern was never presented as the start of a shared universe. Green Lantern is more of a standalone movie than anything else. The first shared universe movie was Superman, Man of Steel, which came directly from a $3 billion trilogy, which was Batman, The Dark Knight by Nolan. In fact, Nolan produced Superman. Unwilling to direct, he appoints Zack Snyder to the role instead. Man of Steel had enormous pressure, which was to continue a series of successful movies and start a shared universe to rival Marvel. By the way, the Avengers had already come out. That's the thing, James Gunn's Superman is also coming at a time with its own level of pressure. It's coming after the failure of the Detective Comics extended universe. After a year in which 4 movies did terribly at the box office. And then there was Aquaman at the end, which had a reasonable box office, but compared to the previous one, not really. 4 movies were criticized. I think only Blue Beetle got a bit of a pass because it was the underdog there, but Flash, Shazam, total disasters. It's a movie that needs to be better than those shaky Detective Comics universe films, and Joker 2, Superman just needs to be better than Joker 2. Man of Steel had to be better than Batman. That's when things got tough. That's the difference. So if you say Superman movies, it was the one with the highest box office, but it's kind of close. If you're talking about comic book movies since 2022, if you look at it, Superman has the second highest opening box office. It only loses to Deadpool and Wolverine, and Deadpool and Wolverine has that nostalgia factor. Hugh Jackman, Deadpool, the nostalgia of characters coming back, which is a sure thing. So Deadpool and Wolverine was already a movie with pre-built expectations. Superman starts from scratch and still comes in second place. If you look at James Gunn's movies, James Gunn is a billionaire guy, but James Gunn has never made $1 billion at the box office. None of the 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies made $1 billion. His Suicide Squad didn't make $1 billion, and Superman probably won't either. among James Gunn's premieres. Superman comes in second place. He only loses to Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2, which came riding the wave of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, a huge success that year as well, which was magical. That moment for Marvel movies was special. Marvel could sell anything, and Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2 wasn't even praised that much. Third one, it was even more, and the third one also had a good box office, but the opening box office of the third was lower than Superman, of course, not considering inflation, because that adjustment could mess up this list. So what I want to say here is it's not a bad result. It's not a result to say it flopped. Internationally, in a way, yes, it did flop. In China, it did very poorly. In China, it ranked 4th, losing to Jurassic Rebirth, which took first place. However, while it performed poorly in China, it fared better in the United States. Now comes the following question. What about the second weekend? I predict a drop of more than 50. Despite the movie's positive reception, excellent reviews, and strong word of mouth, people won't go watch it as it's only reaching 60%. Again, families won't go in large numbers to watch it. It's vacation month. Won't that help the movie? I believe the movie will benefit from this and maintain good box office performance. My problem is this. The first weekend has 5 days. That's a lot of tickets, and the pre-sales were really high. But for the second weekend, there's no pre-sale. For the second weekend, it's all at the theater's box office. There's no pre-sale campaign. Of course, people can still buy tickets. On Wednesday, you can buy a ticket to go on Sunday, but there's no pre-sale campaign focused on pre-sales. When you have a pre-sale campaign that's really successful, this happens a lot with Marvel movies. The second weekend tends to have a big drop, even if word of mouth helps keep it going. I think the weight of the premiere, of what was sold at the premiere, will make a percentage difference compared to the second weekend. So don't be surprised by the second weekend. My expectation is that Superman will reach $500 million. It will surpass $500 million by the end of its run in theaters, and then it will continue in other formats. Then it goes to digital, it goes to streaming, it goes to broadcast television all over the world, and all of that brings in more money for the movie. The Superman movie is a powerful brand, so this movie is already paid for. Don't worry about whether the movie will pay for itself or not. They even spent little on media. But what about you? What do you think? How do you think Superman's second weekend will be? Write your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll be back soon with more pop culture topics. That wraps up another episode of Cuatro Coisas. We post at least 3 videos daily, Monday through Sunday. If you liked it, check out these other suggestions. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates. Thanks a lot. See you next time.